They're 8-0. They're ranked in the top 10, and Luke Fickell, Cincinnati team, just came back to beat UCF over the weekend, and he joins me now on SportsCenter. Luke, you're down double digits on the road against a team who's done what you guys are trying to do, right? Run the slate. You're going to find out what you got. So what do you got?
Well, it was crazy because we haven't been really tested all year, and I don't mean that we haven't played tough games, but going into the fourth quarter, we hadn't been down. We hadn't been down early in games. We had been tested, obviously, in the last couple of years with a lot of these guys that are fourth and fifth year guys. So we had an idea of what we had, but we hadn't done it. We were pleasantly surprised to see those guys continue to react and respond in the right ways, and really were at their best.
The satisfaction to beat them there, how do you best describe that?
If you just saw the reactions in the locker room afterward, it summed it all up. And I mean that because the last time we went there was a big game. It was game day, and it did not fare too well. And to go back there, to do what we had to do in the way that which we had to do it, guys felt a lot for each other this year, and all that we've gone through. To see us kind of handle what we did and then come out the way we did, I think that they learned a lot about each other.
How do you think this year, Luke, maybe makes you a better human? Forget coach, just figuring out how to survive the challenges of each day. Have you had any reflection about that?
I had a year in 2011. I'm not saying it was that year in between with Coach Tress and Urban Meyer, that there were things that were thrown at me as a coach every single week. And those were things that kind of that build you to who you are. And so for going into the season, I kept kind of reflecting back a little bit on that, just to say, how am I going to handle the emotion and the energy waves, not just of myself, but of this entire team throughout this season.
Understood. And I appreciate the Ohio State piece, and I was going to ask about it. You brought it up. Like you play there, you had coaching there. And at Cincinnati, same state, it's not the same thing, and yet the goal's still the same. I guess what I'm asking you, Luke, is as you build a program, having seen what it is truly at the pinnacle, how do you reflect what's best about the idea of Ohio State in a place that's smaller but can still aspire, right, to the same ideas? How have you taken one and try to bring it to the other?
Well, sometimes you have to experience, you have to see what it looks like, and that's hard because a lot of kids, whether it's out of high school or not, they've seen what the best has looked like, but they don't always know. When I came in here, I thought the biggest thing wasn't the size and the speed, but more the mindset and the mentality. And that's what was so unique about where I was at Ohio State. You just had this mindset and mentality that you weren't going to be beat. You had this expectation. And I'm not saying that everybody doesn't have that, but when you get beat a little bit, when you get beat down, those kinds of things can start to get muddied. Not everybody's going to play at the next level, but if you have a passion to play at the next level, you can be great at what it is you do, especially in college. And if you don't, then it's going to be really difficult. And that's where the mentality and the mindset really had to change for a lot of us.
What's the mentality and the mindset of what you see on Tuesday night, wherever you guys find your name with those first rankings? How do you tell your team to digest that?
I don't talk a whole lot about it, to be honest with you, but I'm also not naive to know that they will be watching it, at least very aware of what happens. If it doesn't fare well, and that puts a little bigger chip on their shoulder, no matter what, the season's not over. There's still a bunch to go. Obviously, you got to win. But if you're playing your best ball in all three phases of the game, people are going to respect you and give you a greater chance, and I think people will believe in you.
My guy Stanford Steve's up there trying to play matchmaker. He's like, they got an open date. Ask him about the open date. I mean, it's easy hypothetically, Luke, to thought, hey, BYU, you're out there, we're over here. I mean, like, let's get together. I mean, is that just like sports radio talk, or is that the kind of thing that, if necessary, could happen?
If it's been talked about on sports radio, then maybe that's where some of our guys have gotten it. Because I've had a few of them kind of nudge me and ask me about it. The great thing about the kids that we've got is they really are competitive. What we've gone through this year, it has increased their passion to compete. Maybe you don't get in and you say, you know what, we want to go play them and see if there's some way we could do that just for our guys to be able to compete at the highest level. I don't know. I guess the best case scenario is you guys keep hyping it up. Maybe it could happen.
All right, well, I'll let you put your coach hat back on and say, fellas, let's prepare for Temple on Saturday at 4 Eastern, and then we'll worry about Tulsa, and then we'll worry about down the road. Because I understand that's what you need to do is keep your focus on the here and now, and I appreciate that. But, Luke, I think what you've done is you've given your guys a reason to dream beyond that. And I think that's what's really cool. So congratulations to you and your guys, and best of luck the rest of the way. Have a great Thanksgiving, all right?
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you.